Hi there, Derek Hagan here. I'm a financial therapist, financial planner, and life coach specializing in meaning in life, mindfulness, and resilience here with another meaningful money memo. Let's get to it. Hey, let's talk about how you might be able to revisit and revise your story, including your money story. How can you see your life through a different lens and take a different perspective? You can do this by just shifting your perspective. So take a look at these two symbols and think about what you see. If you're like most people, you look at this and you say A, B. It's the start of the alphabet, right? But what happens if we take that first symbol? This is the one that we thought looked like an A. What happens if I put a couple of different symbols on either side of that? All of a sudden, now it kind of looks like an H because this is the word the. Right? But if we can take that same symbol and put different symbols around it, all of a sudden now it's the same symbol. But if you put a B and a T on the other side, it looks like bat. So this says the bat. Take that second symbol, the one that looks like a B. Well, what happens if we put a 12 and a 14 on the other side of it? All of a sudden, it changes the perspective. It now kind of looks like a 13. Same symbol, though. If you put that A and B on the other side of it, or I'm sorry, A and C on the other side of it, now you've got something that it looks like a B. So same symbols in different contexts, same symbols, different contexts. Exactly same symbols. I'm trying to drive this point home. It's the exact same symbol. In a different context, it changes the meaning. What does that mean for your life? Well, you've got a lot of things that have happened to you. These are life events. These are the life events that you've experienced. Now, when you think about these life events, though, or when you think about your life and the events and the things that you've experienced, you create a little narrative. You connect these life events. I went to this school and then I married that person and then I got that job and then you connect these life events, which means that you necessarily pay attention and incorporate some of your life events and you ignore other life events. They don't make it into your story. That's worth considering. Why did you choose the events that you did? Why did you ignore other events? Some of these events that you're choosing to ignore are big events. And you might have a sibling or a spouse or a kid who have that is like the main pillar of their life event, and yet it's not even in your story. What you can do then is let's say you don't like your life or you don't like some aspect of your life. Well, you've got all of these events and you can create a different story. You can choose a different story. So to think about how you might do that, think back on your life. Here's you, and here's your life that you've lived. This is your life. So you were born, things have happened, and here you are, sitting where you are at. Think about this life that you've lived and separate it into different chapters. Separate it into different epochs, if you will, or different segments of your life. This could be chronological, as is shown here. Here's my 0 to 10 and 10 to 18 and then my 20s and then 20 to 22, the college years and so on. Or it could be totally different chapters. It could be relationships, it could be education, it could be hobbies or something like that. But split your life up into different chapters and then think of all the different key events. What are the key events that have happened in that time period? And then ask yourself why. How have these key events shaped who you are? And you might even think about key people that you've met. What are the key relationships that you've had in this time period? And why are those people important to make it into your story that you're telling? How have they shaped who you are? Because then you can realize that that's the past. The past shaped who you are. Your past experience is the foundation upon which your core beliefs lie. The pillars of your life are your core beliefs, and those core beliefs rest on your past experience. All that stuff matters. The narrative that you tell matters. So now you've got yourself in the present. By going through and looking at your past, through the lens of the chapters, the key experiences, the key people, and how those have shaped who you are, you start to get an understanding for who you are, your authentic self. You're not hiding from anything anymore. You're understanding what your strengths are. You're understanding what your weaknesses are. You're gaining lessons. You've learned a lot from your past, and all those feed your authentic self. So when you can understand yourself better because of what you've seen and what you've been through, you get to take that going forward. Now here's your little yourself again, and this is your past, and now you're looking forward into the future, and you can take the past, those lessons that you've learned, and you can apply those in the future with the knowledge of who you actually are. And when you look at the past, you can tell yourself a better story. You can tell yourself a different story, and you can take all of those lessons, all those resiliency experiences that you've had have shaped who you are. So you take these and you apply these going forward, and then you can think through, like, what do you want in this future? So you're using the lessons from the past. You're telling yourself a better story about the past. You're creating a resilience story instead of, say, a victim story. And you're going into the future. Now, think about, what do you actually want out of life? What's your ideal future? Your ideal future is what you want. Be realistic, though. But what do you want out of life? That's one version of the future, the one that you want to chase. Think of another future, the scary future. This is what you don't want. If things aren't going well for you, why? You know, if things keep going the way they're going, what does that look like? So now you've got two forces. One that you're running towards that ideal future, and one that you're running away from. You're trying to stay away from that scary future. So now you're motivated in two ways. I want this and I don't want that. And those two motivations are motivating you at the same time. Maybe you'll feel one differently at different times of your life, but they're both motivating you. So what do you actually want? What do you want to avoid? Use the lessons of your past to get that. Tell yourself a better story about where you've come from and who you are and how resilient you are. And you will find yourself living a better life in the future. You get one life. Live intentionally. Greetings, Derek again. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more, please head to meaning.blog, and there you can learn about all things related to money and mindset and purpose and meaning. And you'll be able to find out how we might be able to work together. You'll find more articles. You'll find links to videos. You'll find online courses, all kinds of things to get you going on your journey towards living more intentionally.